Do the Pledge of Allegiance first. Pledge of Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, I always get the. I feel like a little sitting on the floor, yeah. All right, good evening, everyone. Okay, we need a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Who wants to go first?
I will.
You want to?
Sure.
Ron, you want to go first?
Sure. You don't mind?
I don't mind at all.
So I put a little thing together here. I just wanted to read through this and then I have some questions at the end. But first of all, thank you for allowing us to have some time to discuss the upcoming budget. We weren't invited to the budget workshop, so we're here to have a discussion on that tonight. For the last several years, as the board is aware, I've been trying to improve the wages of the current court clerk. She has over 20 years of experience and is by far the best in the county. She currently makes much less than the village clerk or deputy clerk, and while I've shared the budget request and asked specifically for increases, often I don't get much of a response. I even heard through the grapevine that there's a chart made that every time I ask for a request to show the court's wages, and it's automatically dismissed when I ask about it. And I advocate for this clerk because I know what a good employee looks like, and that she's one of the best I've seen in all my years of supervising many people. The court has a solid reputation as not only being the busiest in the court with up to 5 to 10 times the number of cases as other courts, but also the most efficient and well-run in the town and village courts in the county. We do our jobs, we do them well, we keep our heads down as we should. In November, Mr. Mayor, you asked me to work with Mr. Doig on the court's request, as we had not had much luck getting responses when we asked for things. And I will say the village clerk's office has done a great job at responding and getting things when we ask for them. Been very helpful, and I'm very appreciative of that, and I'd like to thank Jody for that. However, after speaking to Mr. Doig in November, he asked that I send in the court's budget request, as the planning would soon start for the next budget. Dutifully, I submitted the court budget laid out in a very professional manner, showing the previous budget, the requested increases, the percentage each line would change, and in the end, it would increase the court's budget by about 1%. That was sent to Mr. Doig as well as to Jody. I didn't get a response. Sent it again, and Jody confirmed that she had sent it on to the board. I still got no response. And so here we are, after the budget workshops have been completed and the court was looking at a 0% increase for my wages and a negative 2% decrease for the clerk's wages, as we figured out today, which is the opposite direction we'd like to go. Not only did anyone from the village board not contact us to discuss the budget, but no one notified us of any potential changes of the budget I suggested. During the yearly audit, even Mr. Doig said that after seeing in the paper what town court, Mr. Ripa makes, that he hoped I didn't read the paper, because the town court judge makes about 50% more than what I do for probably about 15 to 20% of the cases that our court manages. Judge Gutmo makes almost $28,000 a year, and 1/3 of all county felonies in this county go through this court, and our wonderfully experienced clerk always has the work done on time in an amazingly well-organized office without complaint. From the proposed 2022 to 23 budget online, it looks like there's some potential massive increases. I'm curious how detailed each department's budget requests were made and how they were submitted, and how much review went into each budget's request. Is there a written process to review the budget to see who should receive wages? I've also taken the liberty of comparing voted budgets as they were taken from the village website for the years 2020, 2021, 21, 22, and the proposed 20 to 23. I only have I've only displayed the courts, the village clerks, the police, and the court budgets to compare to make it easy. And on those, it looks like comparisons were made using things that we found that were online at the time, and that we had printed off. But it looks like across the village clerk's office, there was 11% increase for Ms. Brown in the proposed budget, 12% last year went to Sam, and a 26% increase this year. There was 11% increase for Mr. Morgan. And then Chief DiDazio had a 14% increase last year and a proposed 29% increase this year. And again, I told you we had a 0% increase on the proposed budget showing mine, and actually a -2% for Chris when we look at what the budget was. So my questions are, why is the court not given the respect it deserves from the board, and when we provide with a timely professional response? As I said, Mr. Doig and Mr. Mayor, you assured me last year that this wouldn't continue, and while the clerk's office showed a nice improvement, the board hasn't. So that's my first question. Why don't we get responses when we send stuff?
I thought someone was responding to you, so I sent you an email.
You did
That's
have
on
to,
me,
appreciate that.
you know, I thought somebody was talking to you, but they weren't. On your budget that you submitted, there is a raise for you. There was, if I'm not mistaken, 2% raise for you.
On the proposed on the website, it shows the same amount as shows last year.
Well, no, on our budget budget workshop we had, actually, on your budget, the only thing that wasn't exactly what you wanted was Chris's salary. You wanted a 5%, we ended up doing 3%.
And
That's
it
on our
actually
budget.
ended up being less than that, because last year.
No,
Yeah, it did, and I'll explain why. Because last year, originally, it was at 18,555, but that was later lowered after being paid that amount for 4 months. She was lowered down to 17,578 after we had our meeting. So after 4 months, that her month, amount actually went down. So the percent increase wasn't the same. It doesn't calculate out the same, but either way,
That's not what we have on the.
That was the wish list budget, remember?
Oh, okay, that's the one that was on the website.
We
That was
got
said was
on- we got
formal,
on
wasn't
the-
formal.
On the, for this coming year, we had put down 3%. It would put an hourly rate at 20.48, and it would be 18,104. Last year, you got a 2%, and it was 17,574. And we also reduced the hours
We changed it back
from
to what they
36 to
originally were.
34, or whatever it was, and so that calculates into a little bit more money as well. Not a lot, but.
It went back to what it was before it got changed without us approving the change. It originally was 17 hours, then it went to 18, then it went back to 17.
Yeah.
So the hourly rate really didn't increase.
And there was a 2% in this budget for you. Previously, I remember times that you didn't want to raise, it's not
I
that.
haven't complained about mine.
No,
mine
I know
at
you
all.
haven't, so I'm
I've
saying
been
it's not,
complaining about hers.
I realize that the road is
And the fact
making
that I
more.
know that people think that, this is now the third judge who has continued to fight for Chris, and there's a good reason for that. It's not because Chris is some magical unicorn that we just have to bow down to, because she's a hell of a clerk, does a great job, and we think that she should make at least the amount of money that the deputy clerk makes downstairs, that's been here for a year and a half.
Oh, the
You got
deputy clerk,
20 plus
deputy
years
clerk is
experience.
a full-time worker.
Doesn't, yeah, she gets extra money beyond that, there's benefits and everything else.
She doesn't.
She doesn't get
She
benefits.
does not,
She does not get
Okay,
benefits,
but she could if she's full-time,
but she doesn't.
but she does,
doesn't matter, she could if she's full-time.
she could, but she does not.
Chris doesn't either. Does she get
Chris is
anything
part-time.
extra because she doesn't
We don't
get
give our
that?
part-timers any
Does she get
benefit.
it? Right, that's my point, well, except for Steve Dutcher. And then the next one was,
What benefits does she does?
he had vacation. Ms. Brown, could you confirm if Mr. Dutcher had vacation?
Had a week's vacation.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Brown, can you also confirm that you received I sent you, they sent you the record, and that, did you get any feedback, verbal or through email, that I sent the budget on? Did anybody confirm that they got it?
An email from you?
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Okay. Was the court's budget really taken into consideration? It sounds like you're saying that, the proposed budget, maybe what we're seeing online is different, but.
In your proposed budget, what you're actually getting now is probably about $500 or $600 more than what you asked for. Also,
I mean, Chris.
we talking about the budget, we
The
said the budget.
overall budget.
The overall
Okay,
budget.
okay.
We also put in, because you got the grant for the air conditioner, we threw the extra, what is it, $5,000,
$4,000.
$4,700, something
But
like
even
that.
so, I did the work, got a grant for $30,000.
But we still had to throw in extra money to get
Right,
it.
that
so-
was all agreed well in advance, we took
Okay,
into
all
it.
right, so I'm
I'm not beating you up.
arguing, I'm not
Mayor.
arguing the point, I'm just
I'm just
saying
making sure that,
that we, except for that, the 5% to 3% is the only difference that we did not do in the budget that you proposed.
Okay, and it's.
That's the
And you
only
guys
thing.
all know that that's the main thing that I ask for every year, correct?
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much, I guess.
Do you have a reason why you don't follow through with the budget request I asked for?
But Chad, understand the budget process. Now, I know, Chris.
I'm understanding what I'm looking at, so,
What you're looking at is just a number,
okay?
okay? Now, if we have a maximum amount, we can increase taxes. You do understand that?
Yeah.
2%.
Okay, then why the
The
proposed
two-
budget
wait a minute,
showing,
No, let me finish. Do you know what 2% of our budget amounts to?
I don't,
Very little money.
okay? So.
Not enough so you can cover what you were asking for, let alone give everybody else's reasons.
What, then what happens to the proposed budget that's showing 11%, 29%? Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining if you're doing it to other people.
In order to do that, we had to take money out of something else.
Okay, so you're cutting something else to give
We
people.
cut something
So you
else.
could have done the same for me, right? Or at least
Yeah, I
had a
could cut your-
discussion. You could have had.
You're
a-
paying half, or I could have cut out.
You sure you could have, but you could have had the discussion with me, right? 4 months I've said that to you.
Yeah, but everything is a trade-off.
4 months, we could have had a discussion. When we sat down and had a discussion, you could have explained it to me, but there was no response, nothing. After you came up there and sat there with us, we went
Okay.
through this, and you promised me we'd have responses.
At a public meeting, it was discussed when we decided to do the 3 rather than the 5 that you asked for. It was a public meeting. It was on the internet?
Do you have budget workshops?
Yes,
Okay. Are they all public?
yes,
Every one of them?
yes.
There's never-
Anytime more than 2 of
Okay.
us get together, it's a public meeting.
We have to make an announcement, we have
make
to
an
let,
announcement. It's published in the paper, it's put
Formal
on our
minutes.
website, it's what's available.
So, a couple other quick questions.
Okay.
Has the village in the last 20 years ever received any complaint from the county DA's office or any attorney's office about the proficiency and professionalism of the court clerk?
Not that I'm aware of.
Has the village in 20 years ever received any complaint from the state about the court clerk? We make our books available to you every year by law for inspection. You come to see them, I think you might have looked through them.
this year. I did.
In the past 20 years, has the village found any substantial issues with anything the court's done?
No,
Right.
no, not to my knowledge.
So then, we're sitting here today, and I know we're talking about different numbers, but would the board please consider a new budget request to improve the court clerk's salary to be the same as the deputy clerk downstairs? Same hourly rate?
Would I consider that? Probably not.
Why not?
Because when I have to spend that, there are times when she does not, the deputy clerk does not get paid for everything she does.
Well, wouldn't that be illegal?
No.
No, because
Salary.
we changed her
The part
position
of it
to a
was
salary
to make it a
position.
salaried position.
Okay.
She
So
no
we
longer
wouldn't
gets any
have to
extra
pay
hours
overtime
paid or
and
But
anything.
so you're telling me that she's here more than, at least 40 hours every week?
No. she-
All right then, so
40 hours.
so it's getting made up, so don't
Yeah,
tell me
just 40
it's
hours
about
a week.
salary.
She is 7.5 hours a day is what she's,
And is she
budgeted
here during the
for.
weekend?
She-
And nights.
No, not unless we get called in for a
Sometimes
birth
we get called in
record.
for
But
birth.
she's
Once in a
here,
while, same with
she-
Chris,
I would answer that, yes, she's here 40 hours.
okay? And so Chris puts her hours in, so she's got 1.5 year experience here versus 20+ years.
There were stipulations and she had to be a notary and some other stuff and had.
So is she.
So of course, that's
I've been a
when
notary
we
for
set the
like,
salary,
what,
when we first hired her.
12 years?
With the stipulation, she would meet other requirements, which she has done successfully.
She has to get all sorts of training online.
I'm not disputing whether she's trained or not, I'm just saying the initial salary.
So
set-
all I'm asking is to be set the same.
The initial salary was set with the explanation if she met certain other requirements, it would be increased. So that was.
Okay,
there was
so let's
more-
set the
there was some
stipulation for
forethought
Chris
that went
right now.
into it. It
We're in a
didn't
meeting,
happen.
let's set it for right now, that Chris gets the same hourly rate that the deputy. She's got the same, she's notarized, she does all her online training, it has to have 12 courses plus a year.
Does she work 40 hours a week?
She's part-time, so she's working the number. I'm saying the same hourly rate. I'm not asking for more than that, same hourly rate.
Justify your hours.
Justify them,
Justify your hours. The deputy clerk is here in this office 40 hours a week.
okay?
I know she is, because I come by and she's here.
So come upstairs once in a great while,
I have been up there.
okay? So justify that she's here, her hours are put in every week.
And how much time do you put in with the town?
17 hours, it doesn't matter what the town.
Town?
This is 17 hours a week here. That's what she's putting in here. This isn't for the town.
I know it's not for the
There's nothing
town.
to do with it.
It's got nothing to do with it. 17 hours a week here.
Okay, what do you want me to take it out of your budget?
Take it out of the equipment, I don't care. Zero out my budget for other equipment, I
I
really
mean,
don't care.
the budget is yours.
Okay, then wipe out the equipment budget and put it all to Chris.
Can we do
I'm good with that.
Billy?
That's up to you guys.
Would that cover it?
I don't know what the difference is between the two rates.
Chris is $20.48.
Excuse me?
Chris is $20.48 an hour. You just confirmed that, right?
Yep. $20.48 an hour.
17 hours a week times 52.
Give time for you to figure out.
Oh, I'm not doing that.
Not
Go
right
ahead,
this
no.
minute.
You gotta do it on the computer.
Anybody
So it's
got their
basically a
phone?
$4 an hour difference. So $4 an hour times 17 times 52, it's $3,536.
And what's in your equipment?
I don't remember. I can tell you.
$1,700.
No, so there's 1,700. There's half of it right there. So did all of the other budgets, did they balance out to get their 29% for the police and for the clerk downstairs?
The chief is not part of the police budget.
Okay.
The chief's budget really got chopped.
And they got whacked.
So, but even so, we look at downstairs, did they
$50,000.
come up with the extra money to cover all their budget?
Who's it? I didn't hear that, Jen.
The question was, if, say, for example, if your raise is 11%, did you get rid of 11% of expenses to cover that?
Yes, we cut back, and we cut back Joanne's hours and our portion of the cleaner's hours.
Okay. And I think we probably are oversubscribed for the number of cleaners' hours upstairs too, because I think she's there, I mean, and by the way, wonderful job. She's doing a great job. She's made a huge difference. But I don't know how many hours she up there. 2 hours a week, maybe? Maybe, if, that probably averages that. I'm not sure how many hours, or I don't have that. But even so, if we take out the equipment budget, that puts us at $1,700, that's halfway there. I can go back and do some figuring from where we're at and see what else we can come up with. See if that could make the difference. If you're okay with that.
Now, there's also the cost of workers' comp, Social Security. There are some benefits you do get for working. Whether you're full-time, part-time, doesn't make a difference.
Understood.
And there's expenses involved in it.
I understand.
So when you say, oh, I want a 5% increase, generally speaking, the people who get benefits, a $10 increase is $15 is what we pay for it. Now, for people who,
That might be a little high.
no, that's not a little bit high.
Wow,
Then you're getting robbed, because I have a
yeah, you're robbed.
much bigger
Talk to the
payroll than
insurance
that,
people.
that's not
I
50%.
can show you. our-
You can show me all you want,
Okay.
okay? And then I'll show you back.
Who's that?
Who are
Okay.
you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
He's the judge up, he's the judge.
I'm Michael Ripper.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
No, Mike, by
Okay.
the time we pay
Taxpayer.
retirement,
Taxpayer.
social security, health insurance, all the other stuff.
You get health insurance?
$50,000 pay.
She doesn't get
She doesn't get health
or any of those
insurance.
options. But
So
even
why are
so-
you adding extra in?
I'm just
Basically, it's Social Security and Medicare, okay, it's 7.5,
saying- Correct.
okay?
Percent.
Okay, and workman's comp on clerical is what, 350, 100?
I
Yeah.
really don't know.
But how are you coming up with a 15 if you don't know, Dick?
I said for the employees that work for us that receive benefits. A $50,000
oranges.
employee costs us $90,000. I can show you that, that's a fact,
Okay,
okay? So I'm just saying with benefits and other stuff.
You can email
It can
it
add
to
up to be a lot.
Yeah, I'd like to, but anyway, that's separate. She doesn't get these. So, okay, so we'll, let me go back and look at it. When is the official vote on the budget?
There is no specific date, it just has to be done by a certain date.
Okay,
It could be done tonight,
It
whatever.
could be done tonight.
okay. Do I have,
But all I'm trying to say, and I
Time
want,
to-
and I want everybody to understand, we have two choices. Either divert money from one project that we've got, or increase taxes. And taxes don't increase an awful lot of money each year. Well, 1% increase is how much, Jody?
About
I think
14.
14,000.
$14,000. So when you take all the departments, you put them together, you put a couple $1,000s in each department, it's gonna put us way over what we are allowed by the state. Now, we did pass a local, the hearing the last time, saying we could increase it more than that. You'll get dinged in the following years because then eventually you're gonna wind up back where you were. The most we were supposed to increase taxes, if we hadn't had any money left over last year, was
1.2, 1.02.
1.2%. Which is not much money. Now, don't laugh at me, because I'm gonna tell you something. The town has the highway department. Other than that, they don't have any expenses. We have a recreation department, we have a police department. What's the officers here?
But you
No.
found places everywhere else for these ginormous raises for people.
Excuse me?
You found places to get all this money for all these huge raises for people, like the chief, like $20,000, the clerk, the deputy clerk.
We
the
don't
code
even
guy?
know, we don't even know.
Where all's that money coming from?
That was a request for money. He didn't
Oh,
get it.
that's a wish list.
That was his
like
wish
last year's
list.
That was
What
his
you
wish
saw,
list.
his wish list. Didn't happen. He wanted a new car. Didn't happen. We whacked his budget.
It's on the
pretty-
new budget. All that stuff's on the budget.
it's on the proposed budget, it's on the website.
No, the first column is with the wish list, just like yours. The first column, it's what people were asking for. And the second column is what the board tentatively agreed to.
I did print them, but I'm guessing I left them in the truck, but no, let me see right there. So this is the last page, second to last page that shows on the proposed, and it says for a part-time chief, 51,480.
And he asked for 55 or something, or
Okay,
60
but that's
or
still a
something.
29% raise from last year. So he asked for 45% and got 29.
But his hours were gonna increase and it was gonna decrease the
He's
part-time
not hourly
hours.
though,
He will be hourly, yes, when he retires from.
And he's gonna, we're not gonna do part-timers, he's gonna be the actual
Yeah, I'm
six-time.
not bashing anybody else for getting more money, even Jody, if she deserves it, great for her. I'm not fighting that. I'm not the last person who's gonna fight for someone making a good wage. I'm just trying to do the same for Chris. That's all. So I will go back and see if there's, and, you know, I'll ask the board also, if there's a way you can help me find other places, maybe there's a way that there's other money around to get her up to that same amount.
So what did you guys feel about this? You tell me.
I think that sounds like a reasonable approach to get this right in a sense. I feel upset that you feel cut out of the negotiation process. That wasn't the intention. So I would be willing to look at that. And what other numbers that you see in your budget, just so we can make some move towards a, compromise.
Okay. Thank you.
Sounds like we should have one more budget workshop, probably with the folks in attendance.
Well, that's kind of what
The
you're
previous
doing
ones
now,
were-
we're running,
That's what you're doing now.
we're running out of
Yeah,
time.
we gotta have, pretty soon, we gotta have the budget.
Coming up.
By May I think May
1st.
1st, we have to have,
Didn't you say that your check went down?
Did from originally, was it
Yeah, but
last
that
year, that was a different thing, so that, it did go down from where we were in the budget last year. She got paid at 18,555 for the first 4 months.
That's what we thought, but
That's
it
what
was,
we
the
thought.
budget wasn't correct.
But the budget, that was The budget was different. Again, it was the wish list on the website, as, it was marked off as final proposed, a final budget, but it wasn't final budget.
That's what we were informed.
Mr. Joy told us that.
Yeah, last year was
That is
posted
fair.
wrong, that was incorrect.
So are you currently getting the hourly rate that was agreed upon?
For last year, we didn't
We
agree
don't know
upon
what's
it.
been, we don't know what's
We
been
didn't,
agreed
we
on.
never told what was, we just know that that's what the change was.
You were here
You
at
were
a meeting mid-year,
And
And
not
it-
originally, but yes, mid-year,
Mid-year.
yeah, after 4 months,
and
we
you
had those meetings.
requested cutting her hours and readjusting her salary.
Yep,
And at that meeting, it was set at 1988.
yes, it was.
And we did that,
Yep, yeah, and yep, that was the meeting, yep.
right? And that was not long ago, we did that, right?
Correct.
So,
It
okay.
was, 4 months, so it was probably, I don't know, September-ish.
Yeah, something like that, okay.
So her current hourly wage is sorry, Chris, 1988. And what did you want it to be?
I would like to have, be at least the same as the clerk, the deputy clerk at 24, whatever it was. 23, something, I know we've got it. I don't know, Jody, if you have access to it.
I feel like I just heard 2048, that's what I wrote down.
That's,
No, that's,
that was
No,
the,
that's
that would be
That's
Chris's,
the new
if
budget.
it's with his budget, future, if we're doing this current
Should
budget.
be on that page of the.
yeah, right there it is, 23.44. So it's basically $3, $2.97 now.
And how many hours a week you put in now?
17.
17.
So it comes to be $50 a week before taxes. $35 a week after taxes, roughly. Times 52. It's $2,625, that's the difference. So I'll write that down. $2,625.48 per year. We already took off, say, $1,700. We're a difference of $925.48.
So my question, Chad, is do you feel comfortable wiping that 17 right off right now at this second?
If that's what I have to do.
Well, no,
I mean, we've got our new chairs for this year, which I originally budgeted for. We already got them using leftover budget from last year.
TV equipment?
And the TV, which we got using, and we got the air conditioner, which is not in our budget, but we got those things. And then probably this year, I'll probably request to do another grant to do a couple more things upstairs, and we've been getting lucky with them paying for things. Right now, I'm surprised they have the money that they do, but the state's been kicking money out for JCAP, so if they're gonna pay for certain things, we should try to get them.
Okay, I would remind you, it's something you have to understand. As a part-time individual, whatever you're getting paid, the money that's in here is based on a certain number of hours per week.
Mhm.
That may be. There is no money left over for overtime.
We don't
Yeah,
Oh,
overtime.
yeah.
do overtime.
It was overtime.
Oh, so there's never is any overtime?
She stops at 17 hours.
She stops at 17 hours, how do you get the work done?
She gets it done, don't worry.
That wasn't my question.
She
How do you- how do you
she
judge-
probably puts more
I put
hours
extra.
than in that she's not putting down, but at 17 hours she puts in. Because she was salaried, don't forget, until the law changed.
No, she never was salaried.
Dick, you weren't here. Jody, please answer him. And this is like the third time you've said something without knowing. Jody?
It
Yes.
was that way years ago,
Yes.
Years ago.
yes.
Never
Up
was
until,
salaried.
up until, how many years ago?
Um,
4?
Probably
Four.
right about
Yeah, I was gonna,
there.
about around 2020,
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
so that's a couple years ago.
So that's about 20 years.
But the law,
No.
New York
20 years
State
I was
law
on- I was
changed.
salaried.
It
20
didn't-
years.
It
Well,
just,
no, the
it
law-
modified, and we also followed it.
The law didn't change.
Right, we
Right.
adopted to the law,
Okay. You're-
as you should.
Yeah.
But the law did change too, as far as the amount of money you have to make to,
Yeah,
and
that's correct.
it went up again this year.
so.
I don't have problems, it doesn't come out of that budget, I don't know where else we're gonna get it from.
What's the hourly rate in the new budget right now for this coming budget?
2048.
$20.40.
And now it'll be 2344. That's what we thought,
Correct.
right?
Okay, so I'll get back to you.
296.
Yeah,
Right? Is that what you got?
yeah, two, yes. Yeah.
And your budget, mine is, what did you say, it was 1,400 and
1,700 was one.
17,
The other one's, I think it's the telephone, which I can't get rid of because I
No.
pay the telephone bill.
If you notice on that too, we did lower that because we went with our Delhi Telephone Company and the rate is lower.
Okay.
So that line was reduced because of that,
Okay, I know I had put in for increase because I didn't know that
Yeah.
went down, but that's good,
but that was actually lowered from
that's good.
last year.
So the other part of it is, there is also for the court, we pay for a court officer of $774 a year. That's the new proposed fee. We don't have a court officer, we don't have an officer there very often. It's about once a month they're there for maybe an hour.
but we pay them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I know
you pay
we
the
pay.
officer, but I'm not sure how it comes out of my budget. We have a specifically budget line for it, but I'm not sure why.
Because that's what part we feel that, the police don't just work for the police department. They cover the parks and recreation, sewer plants, and other stuff. They have to cover the different areas. So to put the charges where they belong, you're charged for that part of the time that an officer's gonna work in the court.
What's the amount?
For St. John's.
So you're charging 36 hours for the year.
And that was based off an average of what St. Jack had been doing up there.
Yeah,
774.
he's there, probably
No.
about an hour, yeah.
so we don't have anything we can cut back from that then, right? That comes out to about right?
So if I take the 1,700 out, that leaves 925.48 that we could try to find from somewhere else. If you can't, then
Where, the hour a week that he puts in, how much is it for that hour? Do we,
2150.
it's 4 hours a month? 4 hours a month,
Seven
and stuff.
74 is what I have.
Yeah,
for
it's
the-
36 hours.
So that comes out to exactly that?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 36 hours for the year.
So we had to come up with another $925. Any suggestions to that from anybody?
No good ones.
I don't have the full budget to look at, and I don't know enough about the full budget to even ask.
Well, if you don't, I don't think I do either. You know your budget.
I know the budgets, but I just don't have it with me, and I wouldn't want to propose something for somebody else's thing. I mean, I don't know,
It's gonna come from somebody else.
yeah. Well, maybe we can find a deal on that unemployment insurance that's cost you 50%.
Unemployment.
Did anybody else have anything for the public hearing? Does Chris have anything?
Anybody else have anything you want to cover?
Well, Chris does afterwards, I know. You got a separate thing.
Okay, so it's nothing to do with the budget?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
With your budget, that's it for the court, for everybody.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's it.
And I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Are we done
Two.
with the public hearing?
Well, no, we got
Mr. Morgan.
Mr. Morgan here too.
I thought you just told me that it wasn't to do.
Well,
with
for the
budget.
court, huh? Well, oh, his is yours for the budget?
Yes, it is. It's a request.
Okay.
So you might as well ask him now.
Okay, so let's finish with, make sure we're done with the judge and everybody. So we gotta look for another 925. Is that the,
Yep.
What are you looking for?
huh?
It's gotta come somewhere.
Okay. So we need to have another meeting then.
Oh, no, we don't have to have another meeting, you could find someplace.
If we can find them up.
$900 and
Yeah,
approve it tonight.
okay,
You're gonna have to take it from somebody else.
But you might as well find out what he wants, so
okay.
you
All right.
might have to be searching for more.
Where's that?
You could use the,
Excuse me?
there was $1,000 that came to the village for the table restitution for upstairs that we didn't replace, that's $1,000, there's right there.
It doesn't work that way. The money that comes back to here goes in the general fund. If you look at the total budget, you'll see the revenue.
So, but, okay, it's in the total budget, Dick, I understand budgets, trust me.
No, we don't get money that comes in that specifically say I can give it to the court or I can give it to the police department.
I understand it goes to general fund.
All right, with the general fund, what we tax people is only a part of the budget. Then we have estimated revenues. Now, the court revenues in the last year were not great.
Mhm.
It was a whole lot less than was anticipated, okay? So we actually were losing money.
Sure.
Even less now, because we're not getting any tickets or anything from the village.
Talk to the
PD.
governor.
So if we don't get those anticipated revenues, or they are less than what we had in there, again, we've either got to take it away from somebody, we're just not spending, or go to the bank and borrow.
All right, we gotta come up with the 920, we're just going back and forth, we'll come up with the 925. Everybody seems to wanna do it, we'll look and see what we come up with.
Thank you.
Okay?
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'll get out of your way, Mr. Morgan, step over here so you can see, not looking around me.
I'm up?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Chris Morgan.
Hello, Chris.
And I'm here on behalf of the Walton Theater Preservation Association. I know, Nate attends our meetings as well, but we've got a few things questions that should be brought up and why things are not happening. For several months now, 6 months at least, I've been sitting in on meetings and hearing about not getting paid for the painting that was like 5 years ago or something like that.
Chris, let me, if I can just have a minute of your time to explain, I don't think you were here at that time. When this first painting, I was the mayor, when the first thing about painting came up, we had agreed in the minutes to give $5,000 for painting. When all the painting was done and everybody, the trim, it was supposed to be just a trim and everything, and then they came up and said, well, it costs more than that. But we only had in the minutes approval for $5,000, and it came up 15,000, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
The next year, we put $5,000 in the budget for the theater, and we gave you that. And that was 2019. Then I wasn't here for a couple of years, and that's the last I remember of it.
Huh.
So there was 10, but the point I was trying to make to you is that the original thing was $5,000.
Oh, I see, I
And-
never
and-
knew that.
Well, see, some people have, what's the name for the memories? They have, selective memory, that's it, I'm sorry, I just drew a blank on it.
So,
But that, and we have it in the minutes, and I have a copy of it, and the minutes said $5,000. They
okay,
came back and said, well, no, we had to do more of this, and then the porch was that, and then it was like 15,000. And I said, look, we only agreed for $5,000.
yeah,
But the next year, we put 5,000 in the budget, and I said, let's give the 5,000, so that was 10 towards it.
okay, and then later on.
And then I was gone, so I don't know
Okay.
what happened after, that's all I can that's all I can report on.
All right, well, that answers that question.
Well, I don't know if it answers it, but I mean, it's
Well-
the truth, I mean, I got the minutes, we can give you a copy of the minutes, and you can see what the original thing was we had. I saw the minutes, I had Jody go look at them, and I said, now I remember, because I don't remember 5 years ago, sometimes I don't remember what I did yesterday, but
Yeah,
5 years ago, I didn't remember exactly. I knew you were painting, I knew we came up with a dollar amount, but that's what it was. And
Yeah.
I think sometimes that the members of the committee might not remember that too. And that's why we have this discrepancy.
Okay,
When I came back this year, they were still talking about it, I had thought this had all been settled, but that's where we're at this right now.
okay.
I don't know if that's not probably the one answer you want, but that's the truth of
It's
what
not,
happened.
and I'm not gonna even
Yeah, okay.
discuss it further because I only go.
We're
on-
not gonna kill the messengers, no.
I only go on hearsay,
Yeah, I
and
know.
I don't wanna,
And you can say, I can produce the minutes and
Muddy
show
the
what
waters.
originally was said.
that's fine.
And I remember Jim, I think it was Jim Rice saying something that, well, this was bad, and we ended up doing a little bit more. And that's why the next year we threw another 5,000 in. And like I said, I thought that was the end of it, but,
Okay,
okay?
yep. Now, there are 3 issues. I have.
Oh, 3 issues, okay.
Now, that was the first one. The second one is, the front steps to the theater. Some of those big stones are loose, and, the Theater Preservation Association feels, they might be becoming dangerous. What I feel is beside the fact, they need to be
They
repointed.
pointed.
And eventually they wanna put railings down, more stair railings, there's only one at each end, I believe, down where the columns are. And if those, particularly those stones, if they're not repointed, they'll be loose and the stair railing will be worthless. So that is, and I don't know how much to set aside to
Right.
repoint steps, I have no clue.
Okay. And the third issue?
The last issue is the leaks in the roof, and I
Bell tower.
understand.
We've already had somebody up on top of the roof already, Steve Plank.
Steve Plank, yeah, I understand.
He went up there and he put some stuff up, some filler up there for now, and we'll make sure that it's okay.
Okay,
I know it was going for a while, he's been up there twice, and as soon as it dries out a little bit longer, we'll look at it again and see what has to be done to make sure it won't leak anymore. So
Alright.
we will take care of that.
yep, very good. And it's, that's the main, that's right where the
The bell tower.
the bell tower is.
Yeah, I know where it is.
Now, there's some leakage, or there was some leakage backstage, in one of the adjoining rooms right here. There's a long room in between, there's 22 feet long.
Right.
There's some leakage on the brick wall. It's not brick, it's paneled over, but there's water damage up there. I just bring that up.
Okay.
I'm done.
Butch already knows, I talked to him.
Huh?
Butch is aware of it,
Yeah,
they've already got a plan, there's
so we'll take care of that, that way we got a plan.
Okay.
some wood that's soaked up there, he's already aware of it's gotta dry out before they can seal that up.
Yeah.
They're about to take a look at it. And as far as pointing the steps, they did speak in, and they have had it done before, and Butch will be taking a look at it.
I didn't hear about
And
this.
DPW will be taking care of it.
Sorry.
DPW, the guys from DPW will take a look at it.
The steps?
The steps.
Okay. Thank you.
But the leak for sure was already up there, and they'll take care of it. That's our responsibility to take care of it.
All right, thank you.
Okay? Anyone else would like to say anything?
No, I just
Rhonda?
want to hear how you got your budget, that's all.
Okay.
I like numbers.
Okay. Okay, nothing else right now? Okay.
So you got a little bit, I got it.
All right, thank you very much, appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I have one more question. Somebody mentioned 1% of the budget was $14,000 or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're
Right
allowed,
enough.
you're allowed to raise 2%, that's your maximum?
No,
1.2.
1.02% or something like that.
1.02%.
Yeah, yeah.
And are you gonna raise it 1.02%?
Well, we're gonna raise it more than that.
Okay, good. Good.
Well, that's not good.
No,
Well, it's good for the town. Maybe they go,
Well, no.
you need
because
money.
Some of the services we provide go to the town. And
I mean, it's good for the village.
why is it good for the village?
The work
Well,
we do.
Well, you raise
the work that we do, but the taxpayers don't wanna pay any extra.
Yeah, yeah.
With all the things that have gone up, the gas and the oil and the heating and all the other stuff, a lot of places are gonna go up a lot more. We're gonna be really right close to the budget where we should be, but,
Yeah.
alright,
There's no fat in the budget.
no bad.
Okay,
Take care.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, so are we done with our public hearing?
Yep,
Will we close the public hearing?
Second, sir.
all in favor?
Aye.
Now we gotta discuss,
Well, like I said, if you're gonna give them more, it's gotta come out of something. I don't know who you wanna steal it from, it's gonna have to be coming out of something. And as far as, what we spend on somebody, and I know Chad's not reading this stuff correctly, he thought that that's not fair because that's for the court officer. If we hire somebody to work in this court, it costs the court.
Right.
It doesn't cost the
Well,
police
just-
department, it
Just
costs
like
the
the
court.
cleaner, I don't charge that to me.
yeah, no.
No, that's okay.
So where we gonna come up with the 925?
Well, it's just not $900, you're gonna have to raise 7.65% of whatever her salary's gonna be.
26,
The difference of what was budgeted already for her
Right.
taxes as well, so
So you're gonna take out 1,400 from his equipment,
17.
1,700, I'm sorry. We need another $900, come on.
Plus social
I
security.
hope nothing breaks.
Well, that's just it, and
That's
now,
what I said, that's just what I was trying to explain about, oh, you wanna put her sort of on a salary. We can't legally do. And the thing is Jody's about, we have to take Chad's word for it, that this is what she's working. But the problem is, if she puts in for more hours than that, we have to
We're
pay her.
not-
We have to pay her if we have an hourly rate. So if it busts the budget, it busts the budget. There's nothing we can do about that.
Right.
but on the flip side too,
Yeah, I
If
know,
she's-
it works both ways.
yes,
But the reality is, if something happens, and she has to work more time. then
It's gotta bust
he
the
thinks
budget, yeah, I
It's gonna
understand.
go over the budget.
Right.
well, the same thing, there's nothing in the current budget for money for the steps either. And if nobody knows a number to put in for the steps, we're gonna be looking for that as well.
Coach said, I talked to him about it, he says, it just needs to be repointed, he had time to do it before you didn't get back.
Okay,
I did talk. Yeah, I don't know.
So we need to come up with $925, roughly. Besides that,
Yeah, to make the budget balance, when we pass it, you gotta take that $900 and some dollars.
from something else, out of something else, I understand that,
We're
but
kind of straight $200 out of each other section.
Where are you gonna take it
hope
from?
nobody's talking to me because I'm not
That's the
listening.
question, where are you
No.
gonna?
We should have had a sign-in sheet.
I can tell you it was here.
can we,
I'll be right back.
okay.
Go to my calculator.
The fund balance, the fund balance.
Well, we're gonna have to do that to pay the last appointed physician. We still didn't pay Dr.,
Rod, you never put in a voucher.
but we still owe the money.
What? No, we paid them last year.
Yeah, he put in a request for money to pay them.
We paid him last year.
We paid him for
Oh,
several
no, no,
years.
What?
we had to steal that money last year to pay him, it was $6,000,
Mhm.
because he hadn't been paid. And we paid him up
We paid
last year.
Who gets
Didn't we take
6,000?
it- Didn't we take it out of the general?
Who gets, who gets $6,000?
Because he hadn't been paid for
It was
so long.
Dr.
It's $600, it's $600 for the year.
But nobody paid him.
He hasn't
He's
been paid in
all
years.
back pay.
Yeah, I know, but he put in
And
the pay.
he put in for back pay.
Yeah.
And we paid him.
Yeah,
Every day. Then I forget who sold that, my police department.
yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah,
And this year is, he's got Dr. Mike, Dr. Freeman is our guy now.
Okay.
So we're good to him until next April. We can take it out of fund balance. It's the only place we can take it for right now and just.
No,
That's
I
right.
don't think there's no fund balance in there.
We have, she has.
Yeah, I
Another $200 for her social security, more.
What was
know.
that?
I know, Mike might be good with numbers, but that it does cost money.
Yes.
There's another $200 that you gotta pay. So it's not $900, it's $1,100.
Well, to be truthful, we should probably just find the $1,925.
Leave the equipment stuff there, you mean?
No.
No?
No, take it out.
Okay, take
Take
it
it
out.
out, yeah.
Take it out, no.
Well, we're not gonna find it on their line item.
No.
We can't take it into departmentally,
See, and that's what they don't realize too, is everybody else,
have bigger budgets.
yeah, and it got chopped from within those departments. Like for the chief's increase, he was offsetting that with not needing the part-timer,
Yeah.
because he's gonna be there putting in the hours, so.
Everybody else traded something for what they got, so we stayed within the budget.
Did he get an hourly rate set?
Chief?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what it was, yeah.
There's probably a little details from snow removal. Sure, we came in under budget on that this year. I know, but
This year doesn't make any difference.
It snows
Next
less
year
now.
and to next year. The surplus that we had left over is already in the budget. It's already there, it's already been spent.
yeah, I'm saying there will be a surplus in that area next year. most
So we're
likely.
getting an argument. Oh, it's more.
They're still looking for $1,100.
Is there any place you can think of off the top of your head that we can,
Me,
you
no.
know?
I've cut everything I can think of, so it's gonna be up to you guys, so.
There's no more fund balance, so we figured it all in, or we have a little bit left over? Just in
won't.
case, I mean, I'm not saying take,
Yeah, but we don't, any money that's gonna be left over, if we have anything left over, we won't actually know what it is until the end of May. And
we
that's-
have a little bit left over now from the last budget. We have some money left over in case of emergency. I'm not saying we have hundreds of thousands of dollars, but we
Oh, you
have
mean what
some.
we haven't spent yet?
Right.
Yeah,
I meant to ask him that. What did he have left over?
none. I don't know. No, you didn't have enough, because they had to take $4,000 to pay for the air conditioning.
Yeah, we had to move $4,000 from somebody else's budget to
I forgot.
put it
Yeah.
I
there.
reminded him of it.
Yeah.
I forgot.
He didn't like it,
And
because he said he got the other part for nothing.
could someone clarify to me, did the board get the 2%?
No, you didn't, you guys told me you didn't want to raise.
Okay, that's my only thought, to trim some off that number, but since we already did that.
Well, I don't think Chris understood that. All the fat that got trimmed was for each person who they mentioned got a substantial increase. The money was taken from somewhere else in that department.
I told her that.
Not everybody speak up at the same time, you know, we get it. We know what we need now.
Snow removal was my idea.
Excuse me?
I said snow removal was my idea.
Snowmobile, rural, what line, what are you talking
I'm
about?
not saying all of it,
No, but
You can
what
get
line are
something
you
Are you
talking
looking at
about
code?
here?
but I was looking at it just a second minute ago. So I'm sure that's an area where we have more budgeted than we'll end up needing.
Well, this year we overspent.
Yeah.
It all depends on the winter.
But the winters are milder now than they used to be.
But we
You know,
overspent this, we
We still
overspent on
overspent
the
'cause it was
current
cold.
budget year. If you'd have looked at your budget amendments that we just passed, we overspent and we had to move money.
Who else overspent? There was two.
There's quite a few.
But then at the end of the next fiscal year, the overspent money doesn't just wipe itself out, we have to cover it.
Right, and that's why you do your budget amendments as we go, is to
Yeah,
kind of
we
keep those
amend it.
negatives.
Each month you amend it, move money from one place to another to make it budget
So
work.
could we?
But you have to start out with a zero sum. It has to be the tax levy that's necessary to make your budget even, has got to match.
So this is a stupid question,
We could increase taxes by $1,100, but I don't think that's what you want to do.
No. It's gotta come up with cuts. By cuts.
No, what I wanted to say was, couldn't we treat this as a budget amendment?
Well, the budget's not set
The
yet,
budget's not there.
So it's not really amended yet.
so we have to, right now, we have to start out with a balance. So right at the point that we're at now, I've got enough revenue in to cover the expenses that we projected before. Now with the increases, we don't, so we're not balanced.
That's bad.
So that's what we're trying to do now, is figure out where we can get $1,100 more dollars.
Do we have a fund balance that we could take it from? You know what I'm talking about. I know we have X amount that we wanna use it just in case for the well and everything like that, but we're not
That's
talking
another
about,
problem. We haven't got the well yet.
I know that.
We're gonna be over on
We're
that
gonna be
too.
over on that already. Because there's a $400, or $300, we got $400 in the bank.
I know that.
Well, if there's no money in the fund balance, then we have to raise the taxes and cover the gap. But it
No,
doesn't
you
give,
could- The other way to do it is go to the bank and borrow money.
I don't think we can take a note or a bond for somebody's salary.
Is there anything in DPW that we can get a couple thousand from?
What's this beautification, 70, sorry, excuse me.
We just
Yep.
usually buy flowers for out front so that it looks, I mean, that's all we do here minimally.
That's not that much anyway, how much is that?
No, it's not, but 75.
We're talking 2,000, it's gotta come out of a bigger budget than that.
Oh, yeah. There's somehow.
We only have DPW, police, that's it, I mean, we don't have a big
We
selection.
don't have a lot of places to take it from.
Well, we already bottomed out the police department budget.
we gotta look at DPW. We can get a couple of thousand from DPW. How much we have for trees?
It was 10.
7,000, 8,000, I'm trying to, 10,000, I
I
forgot.
think we've got in the budget what, he quoted for the trees that need to be down, but when
Oh,
we finally
okay.
get to the number,
Okay, I was just,
Yep.
I think it's 12, right?
something like that, I think, but I was gonna try to find it before I spoke out of turn.
12,000?
That's shade trees contractual?
Yep.
Okay, there's 12.
There's 12 there.
Shave off 1.
we could take,
Leave one of those
yeah,
trees standing, one or two of them.
That's just all tree removal.
yeah. So we could take 2,000 out of there if we had to, and just say one of the trees, the lesser of the worst was leave it
Well,
out.
it's like the sidewalks.
Yeah.
If we run out of money, we just don't take down any more trees.
Yeah,
This is-
so I say take it out of there, and then we'll adjust from there.
It's just the sidewalk budget, how many people actually participate in that?
We've got two-
Well, there's a
we've
few
got
on the
two
list,
requests.
so-
One,
If we
at
touch
least
it,
one
we'll
I
screw
know.
that up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I,
But we have, I mean, we have a tree contract, so we kinda can guesstimate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we can take away from there.
oh, yeah. No,
If you wanna leave my tree up for another year, I can deal with it. From my house, one of the trees is gonna
Just
come
thinking
down.
of other possibilities, but that sounds reasonable, the tree.
So you wanna do that? Would you
Should we
be up for
say-
that, the tree? Trees?
Yeah, like I say, because that's one, when we run out of money, we just stop doing it.
Yeah. All right, so we'll take 2,000 out of the tree thing.
No, we're gonna take exactly the number we need.
Okay, whatever the number is, what is,
$1,925.48.
Whatever the thing is, yeah.
And we don't touch his equipment line if we do that. Am I wrong?
No, that's Willie,
No.
that's
Oh,
Willie.
that's what the.
that's
That
with,
gone
that's with
too.
the, yeah.
No.
So should we take the 2625.48?
No.
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 He
No.
just said that he
No,
has new
no.
chairs, he got the air conditioner, he got the TV.
And I
so
asked
he's
him if he
pretty
was
well set up.
comfortable waving that right off on.
Yeah, that's what, no, we'll do just what he has.
That's what I said.
1925.48, I think that's the.
Yeah, that's the number. Okay,
So let me recap, so I have it correct.
Yes.
So you are gonna raise Chris's salary to 2344.
For a
And
maximum
it's,
of 17 hours.
and it's supposed to be based on hours worked of 17 a week. Hours worked.
yes, hours worked.
Yeah, I didn't make
Well-
the answer, well, we'll just change it around, make it fit. 'Cause that is
Well,
exactly-
what if we had a punch thing to put on up there, where she's gotta come down here and punch in when she works? That's no good? Okay, I'm
It
just,
would have to be inside, yeah.
huh?
It would have to be inside somewhere.
Okay, all right, well,
Well, DPW does it, they all punch in every day.
Yeah, I know, but they all come in at the same time.
no, they come at different times.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sometimes, well, most of the time. Well, it's just something to think about, that's all, okay?
And when you do that, you have to set the time she's supposed to be there, like this hour to this hour, because you have to be within 15 minutes or something like that.
Well, no, I mean, when she gets paid for what she punches in for, no more than 17 hours, that's all.
She's got hours on the door and on the website posted.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure, but yeah.
What Dick was saying though is that if she does punch in for more than 17 hours, we have to pay her.
But it should offset for the hours when she's not working too.
right. All right, so you got, so what else you need to
Recap.
recap?
And then, whatever difference is between what was budgeted at her rate of 2048 and the social security, we're gonna reduce, take away the equipment line from the court,
Yep,
and then whatever the difference is, I'm taking from the tree removal line.
correct.
Yes.
So are we passing it, or what do you do?
Is that all right? You guys good with that?
Put a bow on
You need a motion to vote on it? I need a motion if you wanna vote on it.
We're gonna have to vote on the whole budget.
Yeah, that's what I mean, the whole budget, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah. We
I
need
make
a
a
motion.
motion, we pass the budget with these amendments we just made.
I second it.
Okay.
All in favor?
All right?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, done.
Steven and me. My head hurts.
All right, we're dismissed, you can, meeting's over. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Your website's looking better.
It is looking better, yeah.